people, long time no see. I know I'm not the most strict with upload dates, but really, you know how when you set so high expectations of yourself, you kind of just lag. So I was just sitting at 10 p.m. that night when I decided, hey, why don't we draw Emma being cute? And I just couldn't say no. So I started to work. I couldn't really decide on a pose at first, but it kinda just came naturally. I wanted to draw her with her hair back and in her pajamas because it's winter out here. Then I began with my outline while I was doing the eyes. I noticed silly me brought the eyes too close to each other again, but I noticed kinda late. I kinda have that problem with eyes, so anyways, what was really enjoyable was drawing that wavy, curly hair. You know, it could be frustrating, but it's okay. You kind of just get used to the frustration with time, just become dead inside after redrawing the same line 10 times in a row. So, after making my outline, I began with the coloring, and it's kind of annoying me how I spent a whole hour on almost each element that needed to be colored. Like coloring the skin took an hour, the pajamas took an hour, and the hair took another hour, but it's okay. I mean, the sketch kind of just took less than 30 minutes. I guess it's understandable because when it comes to digital art, it's coloring what's the best part for me. I really just enjoy coloring so much, especially digitally. I kinda hate doing the outline and sketch digitally, not for anything, but because I am just more comfortable drawing with my hand, erasing and rotating the page physically than digitally. Anyways, was just trying to get that smooth, glowy skin, making it look nice and cute, and I kinda had some trouble with that nose shadow, but I fixed it later, so it's okay. Then, to not have that ghost-like skin, I added the blood underneath, which will be seen as the blush, making the lips have some pulse in them. And for the pajamas, I wanted to have that pattern on them, so I spent a fair amount of time doing it, and it actually looked nice. And I also saved it for maybe another use. Have I ever talked about how much I love this color? I like to call it bleen because it's, you know, that color between blue and green. I also again here had some trouble because why was the fabric not fabricking? It came to my mind to add some texture to it and it worked. That's why I almost use texture whenever I feel like the art isn't the best version of itself. Then starting with the hair and it was like 12:30 a.m. and I was so tired so I just slept and decided to continue it tomorrow just after, adding the base color, which is a kind of risky move because as an artist, you might just be like, well, I just want to start a new one, but thankfully I did not do that. So next day starting at 12 p.m. the hair on the background left, so let's get them done. I started with the highlight, putting it on the top of the wave, then after that, the darkest core shadow, and from that I just carry along, going lighter and lighter, adding more waves or curls, just more detail and more definition to the hair. Hair and the skin were the most enjoyable parts for me, and the eyes. The pajamas and the background were just, I don't really enjoy that much. I'm not really that much of a background artist. I just do it because I have to, and I guess that's because I think the hair and the skin, the eyes have the most soul and life in them. Like most personality. The clothes are fine, like, yep, they also reflect a lot of personality because the character chooses what to wear, and that reflects the character's personality and mood and a lot of things. But I think it's that organic feeling in these parts. And oh, I also noticed the hair wasn't blending that much with the surroundings. So I just started airbrushing some bleen and skin tones. Airbrushing the bleen where the bleen was, like the pajama, and airbrushing some skin tones at the forehead or the neck, and just to make the piece feel more connected to each other. I noticed if I set the layer to screen or overlay and use the pajamas as bleen on the hair, it gives that just wonderful look on the hair. I mean, that highlight. Just look at that shine. It looks absolutely amazing. Then let's start with the eyes. The eyes are the mirror to the soul. So they had to look gorgeous. I started with a blue tone, then bit by bit brought it to blue, adding that spark in them, the life. There wasn't that much to them, honestly, but I really loved how they turned out. Now, quickly coloring the outline, nothing much happening, and at this point I was just checking if something was off, if everything looked good enough. I kinda at first didn't know exactly what to choose for it, but I just knew it was going to be her on a bed or something, like a soft surface. So I made the room have that dark shade to it to add to the contrast, and I started adding some random pillows here and there. They looked plain at first, so I just brought that pattern I used for the pajamas on them. Also made them of different colors and shapes. Some were round, so I guess that counts. Also, at the end, while I was taking the final look, I noticed two things. One, there's too much bleen, so I had to break it with adding another color or reducing it. And two, I need to add something in the ceiling because it looked too plain. I worked on the first problem first, then took my brush, selected that shade of pink and just threw some here and some in there until I felt like it was now well balanced. And I also added that on the ceiling. I didn't know what that was that much, but it's okay. I like it. I like it so much. It's my favorite piece of Emma so far, I guess. And I hope I will actually do that. You can see this piece in my Insta, and I will see you in the next video.